Okay, so I don't have a working PC still, so I'm making this on my phone. I will be having a PC soon. When I get it up and running, I'll be making more videos. So I'm still sort of taking a break right now. So I want to talk about discourse hygiene, because even though I've been taking a break from the Promo Collective, I have been watching City Crusher videos on my phone and tablet, and the problem is I see a lot of people bringing in the brain rot and lingo from other movements, from the other failed movements. So, for example, there was some nutter on one of City Crusher's videos using the term foids, which makes men look deranged, right? Okay, that weird lingo, dehumanising language. So, if we're going to resort to that, we're going to lose, because we're not going to look serious. We're going to look like a bunch of kooks and a bunch of weirdos, okay? And when we do stuff like this as men, women just mirror it more successfully. So women have used the term moids far more successfully than incels have used the term foids, right? So the incels are ranting and raving, they're stigmatised, right? They're scapegoated, they're called terrorists, they're called mass murderers, they're called pedos, right? And they're laughed at, they're mocked at, they're dehumanised. When they go on about how lonely they are, people jack off to it because they don't care. They do care. They actually want incels to be lonely. They want men to be alone, isolated, frustrated, and driven to suicide, right? Okay, and incels are like the acceptable punching bags of society, because they're mentally ill, socially awkward, isolated, powerless, stupid, low status males, right? So that they're the perfect victims, yeah? So any term that we come up with, feminists will just steal it and mirror it and use it far more successfully. So the incels will try and dehumanise women with the term foids, but the pink pillars and the feminists will use the term moids, and they'll be successful. And their term will spread far more than the incel term. It's like the term high value female, right? It's actually a disgusting term, right? It's an icky term. It's like treating human beings like products. But what the feminists did, they just stole the term, and they just use the term high value male all the time. They just use it all the time, right? If you're not a good provider, if you're not earning good money, right, if you've got any emotional baggage and you need any sort of emotional support, i.e. emotional labourer, you're a low-value male. They want a high-value male. So the feminists and females will just steal the terminology of men's groups, and they will use them successfully against them. So back to discourse hygiene. So as a Promo Collective, we want to be as normal as possible in how we come across, right? So we don't want to use wacky lingo from other movements like the incel movement and the red pill movement and the manosphere or the black pill community or whatever, because they're failed movements, right? They're failed movements. And there's no reason to let the ideas come into our spaces because they're incorrect. So what will happen if you let them get away with using the term foids or whatever term, or like cuck, right? Or whatever term that they use, or like the red pill, right? If you let them come in and use their terminology, they'll eventually take over and they'll hijack us and they'll start spewing their brain rot. And our communities will become brain rotted. So we've got to gatekeep against this. We've got to have good gatekeeping, good, healthy gatekeeping. So we actually can't copy female behaviour in a lot of ways because we'll lose. We can't like crash out and spaz out and rant against women, right? Because it would just make us look bad, and these women would be able to rant against us with impunity, and we'll lose. We've actually got to build something serious as men, right? Going on about women and how evil they are is a dead end, and I can understand why men do it, right? I really honestly do understand why men do it, but it's not going to do us any good. We've actually got to build something for ourselves. Okay, I'm done.